The framework. I had to make a couple of changes. So I went from focusing on multiple assets to only focusing on one asset, one pair. I changed from watching different time frames, the top-down analysis, to only focusing on one time frame. That worked for me. You just need to find a pattern. You just need to find that pattern on that specific time frame, because for one person they can't find a pattern on a 3-minute time frame, but another person can. But maybe for you it's on the 50-minute time frame or on the 12-minute time frame. It depends on the person. It just need to work for you. Yeah, so I changed those two things, and I also changed the mindset from winning every trade to executing every trade the same way, instead of winning every trade, predicting every move. That can work, but I don't see any consistency, and that's what I believe when they talk about consistency. To be able to have a consistent approach for each trade, to execute a trade on a consistent way. So if you can find a repeatable pattern, just find out what the conditions are. And if you can find out what the conditions are, collect that data. Try to have as much data as you can. Keep it simple. That's what I did. I kept it very simple, very simple. You start by having a simple idea, a simple trade idea. Like if you're watching the chart, try to develop a simple idea. And in one of the next videos, I will try to dive deep into that on how to find a pattern. Just collect data, and by collecting data, you're actually backtesting. And if you have all of that data, review the data and try to develop a strategy for it, because then you will know on what conditions it works, and when it doesn't, you will also know the win rate. I didn't find the best strategy. I truly believe that every strategy works, because the market is very unique and the market is very complex, but you need to try to find it. You need to try to make it simple as possible for you. The pattern needs to be very simple to identify. That's where you start. Try to make your trade idea as simple as possible, just by looking at a chart, any time frame, it doesn't matter. But the consistent approach, that's what matters the most. The consistent approach. Try to fine tune, and by doing that, it will get a little more complex. That's the progress. At first, keep it simple, and then you will add another time frame or an indicator or those extra things. But in the beginning, very simple, a very simple idea. Where I am now, I have a simple strategy that I execute almost every day. I'm trading 3 accounts, trade gold on my live account, and trade Nasdaq and DEX on prop firms, because my capital is small to trade Nasdaq and DEX. At the moment, my capital is around 5K. I have a target I want to reach, so I keep on depositing and executing, depositing, executing. My account currently grows mainly through depositing. My trading is still progressing. I know exactly how to approach, but the moment you press buy or sell, then you need to be able to control yourself. Why did you put on this trade, and to accept it. One thing that worked for me, if I executed it, I just put my alerts, and then I don't watch the chart. I only watch the chart when I hear an alert. If I have enough capital, then I think, depending on the data, of course, transition Nasdaq to my live account, because what I've seen the past 3 years is that Nasdaq performs better with my strategy. Due to less capital, I only trade gold on it. So that's my situation right now. And with the prop firm, I'm trying to get max allocation. I'm not there yet, My accounts are still small. Once I achieve more payouts and I'm able to buy the bigger accounts, but that's for another video. Up until now, I have tried to help 18 people to learn my framework. Only 5 out of the 18 people got the message, I think. But that's also on them, because if they didn't put in the work, because to collect data requires a lot of work. If you're a programmer, you can make it very easy to write a code and you can collect data much faster. But then you will miss, I think, is, how do you say that? The reps, your eyes to visually memorize the pattern. Because when you write a code and then you get the results, okay, you know the strategy works and you know all the details, all the numbers. The visual aspect you will miss, because you can only achieve that by collecting data manually, by checking every day or by checking every trade manually to memorize the pattern. You can in the future apply the discretionary part, because what I'm talking about right now and what I'm doing right now is only the mechanical part of trading. To have a system and just execute it mechanically, just like a robot. If you have enough reps in the game, you can add the discretionary part. That's what I'm working towards. I think I can achieve that after maybe 5 or 10 years, I don't know. This is a very long game. I'm still a baby, but I have seen some results. I have seen the potential of it, because I have tasted the potential of it. Even though I'm net negative because of my first year and a half, I have blown so many accounts. I don't care, I accepted it, and I just keep on pushing, keep on moving forward, keep on learning of every mistake. So I'm net negative in terms of money. I have 6K in the game. I'm in my 3rd year, but I always try to keep a positive attitude, and how I motivate myself is by comparing with a university program. That's the only way I can compare it. It's not the same, but financially that's the only way I can compare it, because for me trading is actually, I see it also like school. You will learn so much about the market, about yourself. The thing is, you're the student and the teacher at the same time. You can get a mentor and that will help you to skip certain steps. You don't need to spend that much. You can spend less, because you will lose money, but it's about what you want to achieve in the end. If the end result is way much bigger than what you put in, you have a better ROI to compare it with the university. And I'm not trying to diminish any of that. It's just to put into perspective money-wise. A bachelor program, you will pay around, in Suriname at least, I don't know about the rest of the world how much they ask. I didn't do the research, but from what I know in Suriname is around 2,000 and 3,000 per year for a bachelor program. And that's just the entering fee without extra costs. So 2,000 to 3,000 for 4 years, you get your bachelor, and then to have a master is another 2 years, and that will cost around 10 to 15,000 euros. If you sum up all of that, this is my bachelor and my master program. It's crazy, but that's how I motivate myself. If you're a student at a university, just do your thing. That is how I motivate myself. I lost money, but if I compare it with this, I'm still good. I'm still good. The 6K, it bought me a system. It bought me a mindset and a proof of concept that this can work. It all started with my first payout from the prop firm. That changed my mind, because I could extract money out of the market. I then just need to find out how to do it better, how to have a refined strategy to have less losses. That's where I'm at right now. To summarize, build your own strategy. You don't need my strategy. You don't need someone else's strategy. In the end, you need to be able to execute a strategy. There are a lot of strategies on YouTube. If you can understand them, make it your own. If you can find that pattern simple, you can read it very simply on the market, that's good. But you can build your own strategy. You can build your strategy within 3 months, and then it's up to you to find out how you can refine it. But 3 months, if you put in the work, you're good to go. The second thing is to backtest. If you find a pattern, backtest it. Get a large sample size of that pattern and find out what the conditions are when it works, when it doesn't work, and things like that. That will give you kind of proof that it can work. And if you put the math, if it turns out profitable, now it's to forward test that strategy. And the third thing is trading psychology is the hardest part, because the technical part you can learn within 1 month, like the terminology, you can learn it within 1 month. If you put in the work within 1 month, you can learn the terminology. To build a strategy, you can do it within 3 months. But trading psychology is the hardest part, and that's what I think they mean when they talk about trading is hard. Trading is the most difficult way to make easy money. But the difficult way isn't the strategy, isn't risk management and things like that. The most difficult part is how to control your mind, yourself, your emotional control. Before a trade, what are you thinking about? If you're in a trade, what are you thinking about? If you're losing a trade, how do you react? Or if you're winning a trade, how do you react? Those are the things that makes trading difficult. And I hope with this channel, you can develop your own strategy. If any part of this video sounds familiar, like the losses, the frustration, or when it clicked, let me know in the comments or DM me. DM me, check me on Facebook, Instagram. If you want to follow an honest trading journey, because that's what I'm all about. I try to be transparent as possible. For those of you who have already subscribed, thank you, and see you on the next one.